Should I tag everyone? I should probably do.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to a virtual Hockenheim at the round 11 of the SRL Slipstream Racing League Championship. I'm Terror Incognita. Alongside me for this broadcast is Thimo Brown. How you doing, Thimo?
Thanks. Okay. I can't find the stream online yet. We're facing the 11th round, as said, and it's the qualifying is about to start. We're live for the first time, and yeah, for those on the ZAMAJORS channel watching this and not knowing what is going on, it's pretty much one of the two leagues that competed in that ZAMAJORS championship tournament from last week. It's the SRL with the winner of the whole event, Ethnic TRN, or Electrician, how we called him back then. Yeah, and this is the league for this event.
Yep, it certainly is.
It's going to be live streamed on this channel from now on, and I still can't see the stream online.
I can see the stream online. I think we're good. Certainly the YouTube stream.
Okay.
The screen is a bit. Why is the screen a bit off? Yeah, it is. I apologize.
Ocean Chief told me that it's dry in both sessions. So no weird rain bullshit about to happen. Now I found it. Oh, there's already 11 years. But let me still tag everyone to go on everyone's nerves. The logos are a bit
They are. I don't know what is up with this. I'm trying to fix it.
Are you using
We'll see
OBS?
if it's working.
Using OBS?
In the meantime, we're going to watch... Yeah, I am using OBS. I've never had this problem before, ever. I don't know what is up with it.
So what is the channel to do this? Maybe there's a Majors tournament channel? Let me just tag everyone in there.
Game capture.
YouTube videos.
So what is up with this? Ugh. Give me 1 second. I apologize, everyone. Why would it do this? Can't believe it's done this. Alright, well, we'll try that. See if that works. In the meantime, we can watch Speedy. And he starts his flying lap now. Speedy currently second in this championship.
Still have a fat me? Okay.
A little bit of oversteer through there, but pretty good otherwise. Have a look at it's still off-center. Why is it still off-center? My goodness. That's really annoying. Alright, we're going to go with old stream settings in that case. Which means that I need to change it to... Maybe try this. Let's see if this works. Speedy come around to complete his lap. Looks like he's backed off. I think he ran wide there, so he probably got himself an off track. Got Jippo in his way as well, which is annoying for him. Wow, it's still off. Why is it still off center? This doesn't make any sense at all to me.
We're professionals, by the way.
It's really frustrating.
Understandable. So,
okay.
Now I've spammed on everyone.
So let's try that without the overlay.
Now everyone should hate me, which is essentially what I tried to achieve. Oh no, Ocean Chief is faster.
So Briggy, who is one of our new drivers, he's a reserve. He's got the earliest qualifying pole position at the moment. He's like provisional pole right now, but the best early lap is from Briggy, our Red Bull reserve driver. You can see he's driving slowly.
through Mercedes. Mercedes-Benz.
Alright, so it's working now. But no overlay. So we'll get that sorted for next week. But at least we have a full screen application, which is definitely what we want here at Hockenheim, so that everyone can see exactly what's happening. We've got 13 minutes of qualifying left, and Etni, who is who we previously called Etnik, or who we previously called Electrician, one or the other, he has done the fastest lap of 1 minute 10.772.
Oh, okay. There's also people in the chat. I might keep an eye on the chat. But I don't have 2 screens, so that requires me to tap out a bit, so in more quiet phases we can... I can tap out, or you can just look at your second screen, probably.
Well, I've got...
Oh, and Tipsy's got a collision with Wimpy. No, was it Wimpy? With someone...
don't know. Wimpy is a bit ahead of him on track.
Also, probably that should be mentioned is the fact that Tipsy's even driving, because he planned to fully retire from league racing because he left SRL and 2SRL, 2 leagues in which he had been driving from the start.
But he's back.
Yeah, at least as a reserve now.
As a reserve, yeah, in the Toro Rosso, as you said. He was Ocean Chief's teammate in the Renault, now he's in the Toro Rosso.
Exactly. Also, he's about to start his first flying lap.
So let's go on board with him around this Hockenheim circuit. Turn 1, you can't cut turn 1, and it looks like Tipsy did cut turn 1, which is why he's backed off. And that's it.
Yeah, we're at strict corner cutting settings to prevent turn 1 from being ignored.
Yep, exactly. So Tipsy doing a slow lap.
Yeah, he backed off.
I wonder if he's gonna go for another one as well. Whether he can
imagine drivers getting frustrated over that. Etni, meanwhile, setting a really fast time, 0.6 seconds ahead of Bregi in P2. Sergio's only down in P6, but honestly, knowing Sergio's, probably something unusual happened in that one run.
Well, he was on medium
the
tires.
Telemetry to look how his current lap is going. He's now behind Kirst, who just stops aside the track to get out of the way. Now he's approaching the Mercedes corner, or how the home crowd would pronounce it, the Mercedes Kurve. And oh, he almost lost a bit.
All sorts of oversteer, yeah, absolutely.
But he's only up by a 10. By a 10.
Yeah, so he's on the medium tire. So the tire situation's an interesting one here, because we have ultra soft tires, which is the qualifying tire, and then there's a jump. So there's a 2-step difference between that and then the next softest tire, which is the soft tire. There's no super soft tire. Oh no! Wow, what happened there?
I just witness? Oh my god!
Wow, what on earth happened there?
Let me have a look from...
That's the end of his qualifying session, that's for sure. So he entered the pits and then hit the wall. I don't know if that was an AI hitting the wall for him, or whether he drove into the wall.
Wow.
That is... I've never seen that before. That is actually incredible. So Sergios is out of the session, so he's going to be starting somewhere near the back, I would have thought. He's going to get tyre choice, but wow, the championship leader leads by 32 points and is going to have it all to do.
We saw it.
We did see it, yeah, it was very fortunate.
I will go over to the jungle voice chat of SRL for a second to ask Sergios what's happening.
That is a good idea. So in the meantime, we have Briggy in P2, as we said before. Copy, I think this is a fast lap for Copy. Looks like he's right on it through the last couple of corners, the final 2 corners, the Sud curve and then the Nord curve at the other end of the straight. So Copy's going to cross the line, and he is going to go second, just barely behind Etni in pole position. So Copy P2 now onto the front row, and Briggy goes down to 3rd position as he comes into the pits. And presumably no dramas. I mean, that is the... You still have manual control there as you come into the pit lane, so... I mean, it must just be his mistake. Hey,
yeah,
what did he say?
Yeah, he said that he was just not expecting that pole to fuck his life.
Yeah, because I just looked at the pit entry again, and like he does have control there when he does that, because that is the pit limiter line. So he did drive into it. It wasn't the AI or anything like that.
So at least no unfair bug or something. But not wishing bad things upon Sergios, but I'm pretty hyped about that because that might give us an exciting race and open the championship a little more.
Yep, he's going to have to come all the way through from the back. We have J-Rox now on a fast lap. He's another of the reserves that we haven't really talked about just yet. This is his SRL debut in the Haas. He's Speedy's teammate, comes through the final couple of corners. This looks like it's a reasonably fast lap from J-Rox. Oh no, it's not, never mind. So he crosses the line, and I guess he... what happened there? Because he didn't abandon the lap, but it was just very slow, so...
I just saw Danico asking me about the difference between 2SRL and SRL, so if he's still in chat and you haven't answered that while I was away...
Ah, yeah, no, I haven't. Go for it.
2SRL is basically the league that was founded first by that Buns, like last season when the F1 2017 game launched and when the 2018 game we're on at the moment launched. Ocean Chief and back then, what was his name? I'm retarded. Hetzel. Founded a new league which was SRL, and they brought some 2SRL drivers over, and then they quickly collected their own driver roster and are pretty much independent league, but obviously we're in close contact because the drivers are pretty similar in the league, so many drivers drive in both leagues, and also we're so Tara and myself are Renault drivers in 2SRL and are commentators here in SRL.
So looking at Speedy now, he missed the apex by quite a bit for the hairpin, unfortunately. He's on the soft tyre, so he's obviously convinced that you can't really be on the ultra soft to start the race. We're looking at probably, because there's a two-step difference, we're looking at probably the best strategy being soft tyre onto medium tyres and just a one-stop race, but that means you're not going to be qualifying at the front because there is a big difference, as Speedy is about to find out, I'm sure, between the ultra soft and the soft tyres in terms of pace. So Speedy's going to cross the line in the next few seconds. You can see his time in the top right-hand corner. He does cross the line and he goes P9 on a 1 minute 12.2. So that's pretty much as good as you can, well, it's probably not as good as you can do on the soft tyre. You can go a little bit faster than that. He must have, well, we saw him made the one mistake at the hairpin. But obviously on the soft tyre, you are going to be down the grid if you decide to do that. Any South African drivers here? Yep, there is this man right here, Wimpy. He is South African. He is done pretty okay so far in terms of his results. He's certainly in the tournament we had, he got some good points there in the Silverstone race, and he's going to cross the line now on these ultra soft tyres, and I guess
only in P14.
Yeah, I guess that wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't. Yeah, probably wasn't a timed lap.
It must have been because he's out of battery now, so he's on an in-lap now. So yeah.
Yeah, Detective Terror clears up the case. A bit of a yellow flag, but I can't spot why.
Oh, Etney's improved his time. It's a 1 minute 10.6 now, so he's gone nearly 2/10 faster still.
Really close though.
Yeah, Copy did a very good lap. We saw the end of that lap on screen in the Mercedes. That's okay. It was while you were talking to Sergios.
Jippo is mowing the lawn a bit. He was just going across the grass on his entry. I suppose he has got no fuel, so he had to limp home. Wimpy now going towards the Sachs Kurve, or better known as, oh no, for fuck's sake.
So, and Michael gets it all wrong as he comes across the line and spins on the front straight. He did manage to set a time that was P11, but yeah, my goodness, he's facing the wrong way now. So we're going to see if he can get back on track without affecting anyone. He does. But Michael, yeah.
And now he
As Bance
takes out a useless brake marker and
retires.
never mind. Now Vinny is coming up behind him, I think. Yeah.
So who's on a fast lap? I think Ocean Chief is on a fast lap. We're going to follow along here with Ocean Chief in the Renault as he goes. He is on the Ultra Softs and he's in P10 right now as he comes into the Mercedes left-hander, turn 8. Got to keep it tight here, keep it all the way to the left for the best line through turn 10, which is that right-hander. And he pulls it out all the way to the left-hand side of the track, get as close to the wall as you dare, into the right-hander at the beginning of the stadium section. And now Sachs curve, turn 12, as he tries to get the left front hooked in there. You just got to ride the curb or get as close to the curb as you can without actually touching it. Misses the apex of the penultimate right-hander. Then through the final corner, the Sud curve, and crosses the line. And does improve. Yep, does improve, but not able to jump up the grid. 1 minute 12.4. Tipsy Bob apparently has a grid penalty. I missed that.
Yeah, he collided with someone, but I missed who it was. I think it was Wimpy, but I'm not quite sure. I could go into the stream and look it up, because I'm not recording anyways.
Okay, well, he's right at the back at the moment. In that case, he's P17 right now, and in fact he's retired as well, isn't he? So he is going to be starting, I think, right at the back in 20th position. Yeah, it was Wimpy apparently, who Tipsy Bob collided with.
Oh yeah. Ah, thanks. Good. Yeah, just know I said that, but I wasn't quite sure now if I was right back then.
So Vinny, I think, is on a fast lap here. Comes into
SML Discord.
Left-hander.
Then the MVP.
Oh, another fastest lap from Etney. 1 minute 10.429.
Let me have a look at Tipsy's recording, because he seems upset. He seems to be upset.
Okay.
Oh! But Toro Rosso is having a bit of love. And
what happened?
Tipsy was on the pit exit and he was just driving there. He wasn't crossing the line, so everything was fine. And then Wimpy just came driving across the white line, and Tipsy then hit him in the rear tire. So no damage done, but Tipsy randomly got. I mean, the penalty is pretty undeserved. You could argue Wimpy should have driven more to the side of the track, but yeah, useless penalty, to be honest.
Well, fortunately you do get those. Certainly if you collide with anyone in either a qualifying or a race, you might get a penalty. It's pretty much random, so unfortunate for Tipsy that he did get one, but I mean, to be honest, he's 18th anyway, so he's only going to be down 2 positions from that. So some interesting things here. So Briggy is on an outlap. I'm trying to see who else is on an outlap. So Speedy is starting his hot lap now, I think.
Yo, what happened, Cursed? Cursed is writing in chat.
Oh.
Why am I so autistic? Shaking my head.
Oh dear. Poor Cursed. We'll follow along with Speedy's lap in any case. This is the last lap of the session. You can see 30 seconds to go as they come onto the back straight. As he comes onto the back straight, the Parabolica, the long left-hander. And you've got to keep it all the way to the left here before the hairpin, which is a big stop break at about the 150-meter board. Maybe a little bit later even in qualifying and on the very soft tyres. Now he powers out of the hairpin all the way down to this little right-hand kink, and then the Mercedes corner, turn 8. All the way to the left, brake at 100 meters and clip the apex, just about clip the apex there. Got a good amount of oversteer on the exit, and then pretty much flat through turn 10 and now turn 11 into the stadium section. Got a clip, but not clip too much there of the apex as a car goes off the track ahead of him. Sachs curver, late apex through there, and then the left-right before the last couple of right-handers. That's flat, and then he hit the apex of the penultimate corner really well. Didn't run too wide there, pretty much got the track limits perfect, crosses the line and goes P3. So Speedy on the second row of the grid on those ultra soft tyres.
Also, Etnik's time was a hell of a lap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he's done 3 laps this session. All of them would have been good for pole position. The first one he did was a 1 minute 10.7.
Exactly. But Copy, Speedy, and Briggy, and even Yugos are looking really closely matched. Then there's a bit of a gap, like a third of a second, to Vinny, and then Anonymous. J-Rock's also closely matched, also with Jippo. So yeah, it's a really close field in the qualifying,
So
especially in the top 10. So we might be up for a really good race. Ethni, yeah, might be able though to run away with it a bit if he gets the start right and Copy isn't immediately able to catch him. But let's not rely on the fact that nothing unexpected will happen.
yeah, absolutely. It's always unexpected stuff will happen in a race, and we'll see what happens in this one. We've got, as you said, Ethni on the pole by a good 3/10, but then it's very close behind him. And in the end, I think all 10 of the people in the top 10 are on ultra softs. Yeah, they are.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Michael just put in a lap right at the end there. Unfortunately, they put him 10th, which is where you don't want to be, because you don't get free choice of tyre there. You can probably one stop if you're 11th or below.
Bans also tried but didn't succeed. I'm AFK for a second, I have to do something.
Okay. So,
but I think you can.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bant's P15. Not a particularly good result for him, but again, he does get that free choice of tyre that the top 10 will not get. So an all Czech front row, Ethni and Copy 1-2. And we will have a formation lap before the start of the actual race. The championship standings, for those of you who want to know, Sergios, who is all the way down the grid for this race, on 176 points. Then Speedy, who's third on the grid, 144. So he's 32 behind. You get 25 for a win, so he's more than a full race win behind. But possibly a good chance today to get that gap down a little bit further. Then Ethni, who's on pole position for this one, 122. He's 22 behind Speedy. Here is the formation lap. As you can see. Welcome back.
So, okay. Formation lap.
So, that's interesting. So, all 10 of the, obviously, top 10 all on ultra softs, because that's what they qualified on. But everyone else is on the soft tyre.
Understandable.
So, yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be a one stop. I think that's the way to do it. So nobody deciding to go for an ultra soft onto ultra soft into soft or something like that, something weird. But yeah, I think the fastest strategy is a one stop.
So I suppose you will watch the front end of the grid, and I will have a look at the back end to maybe spot something interesting going on.
Okay. Well, I'll do the
so I'll leave you the commentary for the first corner.
Okay. So we will have. Sorry, on.
Yeah, especially with Bans and Sergios being in P15 and P16, we might see some action at the start I don't want to miss.
Yeah, there's a few quick drivers at the back. Tipsy, I think, is faster than his pace is showing as well there. And Triton as well, to be honest. I think he qualified on a different strategy, so I think Triton will be
Triton
reasonably
was
fast.
Also on softs.
So yeah, here we go then.
We also know Bans is capable of doing a lot. Let's see how it will go for him, and especially with his mate from Spain, Sergios, in the neck.
So the cars forming up on the grid. There's a pretty big gap. Who is that? That's Triton, who's way off the back of Ocean Chief at P13. Did no one get disqualified in the formation?
That is incredible.
Oh, a Haas did. Okay.
I think J-Rox was standing in his grid slot earlier. I don't know why. Maybe he was AFK and got disqualified.
And there's a McLaren that was as well. I guess that's Jesse right at the back. I'm going to keep it on this camera. This is looking good to me. Here we go then. 5 lights. As soon as they go out, we will be underway at Hockenheim. Out go the lights, away we go. A good start from Ethni. Copy got a reasonable one as well, and there's a Williams coming to the inside as well. Vinny looking to the inside, and Briggy I think got squeezed out.
Sergio spins in the background. Sergio spins in the background. J-Rox is also into the wall. Sergio clipped some car. He was getting a rocket start, and was already ahead of Benz through the North curve, but then he clipped the car's rear and spun off into the runoff area. So now he's in the back. J-Rox also ran into the back of another car and spun.
Well, disaster for Sergios, but at the front, it's pretty much as you were. A very good start from Etney. Hugo's got himself into P3 there as well, and Speedy right up behind the second Sauber right now as they go into the Mercedes curve for the first time.
Oh, and a Briggy, wait, Pick Unicorn is off. He just flew off the track. There was a bit of chaos going on.
He's out of the race,
screen.
is he?
Yeah, he is. I just saw a McLaren shooting off in the background, colliding with, I think, a Red Bull. So, might have been Jippo. I think it was Jippo. And Cursed, actually, yeah. Jippo is missing a front wing. Now he's getting overtaken left, right, and center.
And there's contact between Hugos and Speedy for P3. Speedy got into the back of him. Hugos, well, he had to give him it, but Speedy pushed him out of the way, essentially. Briggy as well around the outside.
J-Rox into the lead, and Briggy goes wide, rejoins the track ahead of Winnie. Will he go for something in this corner? No, he doesn't. He gets dived by Vinny, and there's a huge spin. Anonymous spins out again. 3 wide, 4 wide. Michael, and another spin by Anonymous. Benz is in P8.
Oh, what my goodness. So Hugos, I think, don't know whether he spun or whether he was helped around, and there were a few cars there. I mean, Speedy got through unscathed, Briggy got through unscathed as well, but everyone else, I think.
Yeah, gotta admit my camera angles sucked pretty hard, so I couldn't see what was going on. So I was left guessing a bit there.
Yeah, I didn't really see what happened either, but whatever. It's Speedy who's managed to get out of that unscathed. I wonder if the stewards are going to be looking at his incident with Hugos, though, because...
And now, Hugos passing through the car.
Yeah,
so connection problems for
Jason got a screen freeze, I think, so Hugos manages to get past on those ultra soft tyres. Does have more grip at the moment, but won't have for too much longer.
Etney, though, meanwhile, in the lead with a gap of 1.7 seconds already. And oh no, we've got a bugged car.
We do?
Yeah, J-Rox. At least I've got. J-Rox is in P1 for me. But if I switch to him, then he's all the way down the order.
So thankfully we don't have that on the broadcast by the looks of it. So he's P5, he's just ahead of Vinny, and in fact he's going to be under some amount of pressure, I think, from Vinny as they go into the hairpin. He covers the inside line. Vinny goes to the outside. He does have the DRS. Oh, and between the two of them goes Hugos into the hairpin, and all sorts of wow. As Bance goes too deep into the hairpin as well there, but Hugos
now side by side with Jason through the... No, that's not Mobile 1 corner. He goes round the outside towards Mercedes, and...
and then Jason lost some front wing.
Back of Winnie a bit and pushes him wide, so Bance is able to claim 2 positions. So he has already made his way up the order a lot. He's already in P6 after having started in P15. Also, probably one of the real winners of the start was actually Cursed, because he climbed up to P13 really quickly. Wimpy is already in P9, so he didn't get caught up in the mess that was going on the track.
Oh, and the 2 people pitting. So J-Rox pits from P5, Hugos from P6. Is it really that time already that the ultra soft runners have to come in? Vinny in as well. J-Rox is pitting too. I guess you can't see that because you're desynced, but J-Rox is also in the pits.
He's pitting for me.
Okay.
Well, okay, so I can see that he's pitting,
and he's changed his front
wing
as
interface, but for me he's running super slow through. Oh, he just made a clean vet. What the fuck? I shouldn't describe what happens on my screen because obviously it's bugged. Now we got teleported into.
I think it's just J-Rox, and I think it's just you who's desynced with him, unfortunately. But we don't have that on the broadcast.
With a front wing change, now down into the last position of those who are still running on the track, with a huge disadvantage, of course, now. So Speedy is running pretty closely behind Copy. And Ocean Chief is following Briggy, and he's not only following, he's going side by side now through Mobile 1, and he takes the position. Briggy loses the position and is down to P9. Triton still lurking behind them. Ocean Chief is worked his way up into P8.
Yep, and Briggy on those ultra soft tyres obviously going to be feeling the degradation now. I think he's going to come into the pits. Is he? Oh, he is going to come into the pits, and he just manages to get in there. And Triton was forced off track there because I don't think he realised that Briggy wanted to pit, and he was on his inside. So Briggy does manage to get into the pit lane. Speedy pitted as well. Yeah. So
in the
he's back on
meantime,
the softs.
Michael, Jesse, and Cursed all have collected 3-second time penalties for multiple warnings. For those who aren't too familiar with the games. Oh, Cursed, 10-second time penalty. How does he do that all the time? Yeah, for those who aren't that familiar with the game, you get warnings for going off track for like corner cutting or extending the track to get an advantage. And if you collect 3 of those, you get awarded a 3-second time penalty. So if it says multiple warnings, 3 seconds time penalty, then that's pretty much what happened. We are racing at strict settings, so especially in turn 1, the Nordkurve, it's pretty easy to cut the corner by just turning in a bit too early. So missing your
running wide on the exit
point already gives you a warning that. So if someone collects penalties, doesn't necessarily mean they are trying to cheat the system or cut corners or something, because it's really not worth.
So the leader's pit, Etnik, comes out, and he's going to be, I think, coming out in what, 4th, maybe 5th even? No, he's in front of Ocean, so he's 4th.
He's 4th.
So Ocean gets himself a penalty. Yep, we saw Ocean pass Wimpy on the previous lap as well, so that was a pass for position.
Speedy now going down the inside of Wimpy, if I see. No, wait.
Yep, that's right. Into turn 3, into turn 2.
Copy is fighting Tipsy after having come out of the pits. He's now behind the slower Tipsy Bob, who hasn't stopped yet. They are going side by side through Parabolica towards the hairpin. Yeah, and Copy has already claimed his position way before the braking zone, so no drama there. Yeah,
that's what DRS will do for you. Wimpy managed to get back ahead of Speedy somehow. How did that happen? Not exactly sure. Speedy on the outside into the Mercedes curve, turn 8. The left-hander tries to hold it around the outside. Wimpy does give him room on the exit.
Looks like he might be able to. Wimpy running a bit wide on the green tarmac there.
And I think he does have it now.
Oh, Wimpy runs wide into the gravel trap. Now please don't rejoin into another car. He doesn't. Trenton slips through. And now Wimpy is directly ahead of Copy on track. So it's now Copy's task to get out of that Toro Rosso sandwich.
I think that was the Force India of Cursed on the infield as well. He's already a lap down, and he's gone off again. So Cursed not having the best of times in the Force India.
Rip Milos Martika. Let me have a look at the live stream if there's something interesting in the comments. Etnik, yeah, Etnik is really
good. So back up front, we got Bantz leading by about a second now. Jason has DRS on him, but then Sergios P3 behind.
We just received the request to have a look at Briggy, but only if he is close to other people. That's
he's all the way down. How has he managed to get all the way down to P14? Did he have to pit a second time?
And I think he was.
Was he caught up in that incident? He might
I think he was caught up there. Yeah. Okay. So now he's got to make quite a chase. He's 4.5 seconds behind Vinny. The intervals are bugged for me. Because of J-Rock's desyncing for me. So he's 4.5 seconds behind Vinny, and Vinny himself is 10 seconds behind Hugos.
Yeah, there's so J-Rock's is between Hugos and Vinny, in fact. So J-Rock's is P12, and he just got himself a penalty as well.
Oh, and Sergios is really close to Jason.
Yep. He's front 3, and Jason, he did run wide there, so gets himself a 3-second penalty on the exit of turn 1.
Yeah,
Sergios all over the back of him.
Yeah, Etni is catching up pretty rapidly. Of course, he's having the tyre advantage, but in total, if you look at the strategy of the race, he has got to make one more stop than the others. So this is for actual position if he is getting closer to Sergios. Sergios not able to make the move stick quite yet, but never
dives down the inside at the hairpin, manages to push Jason off track, and I think he will get the position. Sorry, I interrupted
that was a harsh maneuver, a really late one, but in the end I think nothing major happened. Now Jason does his part and sends it down the inside through the Mercedes corner, but now the inside line is Sergios's. He might be able to stay ahead. Will Jason send it?
Contact.
Yeah, contact, but manages to keep it on the track. Jason really wants through, so he puts his car down the inside in the Sachs curve. That was some that was some wheel-to-wheel banging racing, and now he catches a bit of gravel on the outside and loses the grip, which makes Etney claim that position. So that's a loss for ZAMAJORS, because he spent a lot of time trying to get away from Jason, get ahead of him, and then not getting re-overtaken, while Etney just gets the position by Jason making a mistake. That's a huge advantage for Etney now, and he might play that advantage into the hairpin through Parabolica with the open DRS. He goes down the inside, and nothing really ZAMAJORS can do there. No, not even a bit of a gap on the inside he could send it into. So Ethnic TRN has just overtaken out ZAMAJORS, and that was for position.
Yep, it absolutely was. Nothing you can really do when you're on that straight. You've got DRS and Slipstream advantage for the car behind, and of course Etney has more grip as well than ZAMAJORS because he's on 5-lap newer
tyres. It's a really
tyres.
powerful DRS zone.
Yeah, it really is. So Speedy as well has overtaken Ocean Chief, so that happened in the hairpin, I believe. So Speedy now getting himself a little bit of a gap on Ocean Chief for P5. Again, he's got the tyre advantage. So there's two separate races almost going on here. There's the people who are one-stopping. So Bance is leading the actual race on the road, and he is one-stopping. So he, and yeah, Etney does the fastest lap behind him. But the leader of the second race, which is the two-stoppers, is Etney. So those two are going to battle now, and I think what we're about to Speedy gets himself a penalty.
Speedy with a penalty, yeah.
Etney, I think, is going to be in the DRS zone here, and he's going to be, I think, past Bance into the hairpin. We'll see if he manages to do it.
Yeah, probably Bance does his standard defensive move by claiming the inside, but Etney has got a better run now,
Oh, very
able
nice.
to just claim the position around the outside. Nothing Bance can really do about that, and because of the superior strategy at the due to the superior tire situation,
Yeah.
Etney is just able to run away with this now.
Yeah, that was a really nice move from Etney. He just got to the outside, went all the way around the outside of the hairpin. Not easy to do, but as you said, he's got the grip advantage, so he was able to do that quite comfortably. So those two running away a little bit at the front. ZAMAJORS had that little encounter with Jason, and that's set him back a little bit. So he's chasing Bance now. He's about 1.5 seconds behind, but probably closing in. J-Rox gets himself a penalty. He's all the way down.
Where is he for you? Because I just watched his AI doing fascinating
Oh, and in fact, side by side with Wimpy, so passing P11 right now as they go through the Sachs curve, and yeah, Wimpy has to give it now. Wimpy getting a little bit sideways as well, but manages to save it as they come into the final two corners. Wimpy, in fact, pits from P12, so Wimpy into the pit lane, manages to get it slowed down. That was a very conservative pit lane entry from Wimpy, and he will probably put on the medium tyre and go to the end of the race.
Jesse with another penalty in the meantime, and Hugos has just made the pass on Triton down Parabolica. Yeah, there's nothing Triton can do about that, to be honest.
Yeah, Hugos on the
He can
slightly
try
newer
to
tyres.
hang on to this, but no chance. Also, Hugos on better tires, which makes it even worse. Hugos now 2 and about half a second behind Copy, so they might battle it out to the end of this race. It now depends on who has got the superior pace, both on the same strategy. Copy is also catching up to Ocean Chief, who has pulled a bit of a sneaky by getting himself up into P6, pretty much going unnoticed for all of the race, by just having started on soft tires and therefore
Jason and Speedy side by side into turn 1. Speedy has to back out of it. Jason not giving Speedy that position. Speedy on the considerably newer tires into turn 3.
Yeah,
But
he will
DRS
just stay
now.
behind now, because with the next penalty to claim DRS and now make the textbook maneuver. A lot of drivers have already done here by just going around the outside.
Oh, what happened there? Jason into the wall in a big way. Did they make contact? I didn't see what happened, and he retires.
And Jason is retired.
Wow.
I couldn't see. I had a really shitty camera angle.
Well, whatever. Speedy gets the position. Didn't see what happened. We'll have to look back on the broadcast.
Everyone, of course, behind them gains a position as Jason is now retired. Speedy 4 seconds behind ZAMAJORS. ZAMAJORS is
catching Bance.
really close behind Bance. They are also racing for position positions, and if you split up the race into several races like you did before, then you could say Sergios and Benz are essentially on the same race, so it will get interesting.
Yep, absolutely. They are second and third on the road, and Speedy is a few seconds behind, so it looks like it might be a real second and third position. As you said, Ocean Chief as well has done very well to get himself up into P5.
Also, remember, these two have both started on, I think, row 7. Can I do math? No, row 8.
Row 8, yeah.
Row 8. Yeah, it's row 8. Oops,
poor
university,
Kirst.
by the way.
Poor Kirst gets himself another penalty. He's 3 laps down now.
For me, he's only 1 lap down. Might be desynced.
Copy down the inside. Oh yeah, maybe desynced actually if he's only 1 lap down for you. So Copy passes Ocean Chief. And that is for P5. Yeah, a Copy on the
surrenders his
pressure
position.
tires.
Vinny has passed... Oh no, the bug again. Vinny has passed Tipsy Bob for P9, so the penultimate points paying position.
So J-Rox is just ahead of them, so it's actually P10.
Oh, yeah, cool. For me, J-Rex is P15. Yeah, that's Codemasters who, as I have claimed so often, and as probably everyone has claimed really often, they don't really live up to their names.
Vance pits from P2, so he's the first of the soft runners in that lead group to pit. He's going to put the medium tyres on. He's going to go to the end of the race. So still 20 laps to go.
He'll try to make the undercut on Sergios.
He was ahead of Sergio, so he's got to protect against the overcut. I think it'd probably be all right, but he's got those cold tyres. Obviously, the medium tyres are the slow tyres anyway, and they're cold. So Vance going to have to push on this outlap to make sure he doesn't get jumped in the pits by Sergios.
Just a little language question. If I wanted to say that Sergios and Vance are both from Spain, I would call them fellow compatriots or something like that, right?
Yep, compatriots or countrymen or something like that, yeah.
Okay.
So Hugo's catching Ocean Chief as well. That's for P5 right now. They both have to pit one more time. Keeping half an eye on Sergios to see if he pits this lap. I suspect he might. Ocean Chief runs wide in the right hand. He gets himself another 3-second penalty. Sergios has not pitted.
Also, wait, in which position is J-Rox for you?
Ninth. He's about a second and a half behind Vance.
So he's ahead of Vinny at the moment.
Yeah.
Briggy has put in some clean laps, and he has now closed down the gap, which was previously, I think, like 8 or 9 laps ago. 5 seconds, he has closed it down to 1.5 seconds, so consistently faster than Vinny, and maybe setting up himself for a pass.
And Hugo's trying to set himself up for a pass on Ocean Chief, but nothing doing at the moment. There's a slower car, that's Michael in the Williams, who does manage to get out of the way. It's nice driving from him as they brake for the hairpin. Hugo's taking a tighter line, they're getting a good run out.
Okay. To quote the chat, holy cannoli Batman, it looks like Kirst has just parked it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one of us Kirst is desynced. I mean, it doesn't really make any difference. He's not gonna.
Honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
Because what he's doing on my screen looks like something
like
a real driver would do.
Okay. So.
I don't know what he's doing for you, but for me, he's running wide on turn 1 and things. And if cars are desynced, then some weird AI takes control over them. And the AI doesn't run wide on first turn, per usual.
Oh, and Ocean Chief
no disrespect to Milosh, but... Oh, Jippo's retired. No disrespect to Kirst, but he isn't quite the most relevant driver to the result of this race. So it isn't that much of a problem that he's desynced. Unlike J-Rex, who is displacing everyone in the top 10, behind the top 10 from you.
Yep, he's all the way up to P9 now in that Haas. He's chasing down Vance actually on those older tyres as well, so does have the DRS. So Vance obviously struggling a little bit to get those tyres up to temperature, and it'll be really interesting to see as Kirst gets DQ'd.
Holy cannoli, he's been disqualified.
Poor Kirst.
No, Milosh. How do you do that?
I guess he got a lot of penalties.
Yeah, Michael is down in P17 for me. Is he for you as well?
Yep, he is. He's a lap down, and I think he let the leaders pass. So Sergios pits from P2, so this is what we want to see. So Sergios was about, what, a second behind Bantz? As he comes into the pit lane, he's going to put the medium tyres onto the end of the race.
Sorry, but I think we... sorry to the viewers, I think we might have missed Briggy passing Vinny.
Ah.
He's now ahead, and he's in P7 or
P8, yeah. J-Rock's just ahead of them. So Sergios coming out of the pit lane, we'll talk about that in a second, but Sergios coming out of the pit lane, and he has jumped Bantz by quite a long way, in fact.
That's 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
So without a battle on track, Sergios proving faster pace.
Yeah, that's impressive, because Bantz had a couple of laps to get those medium tyres up to temperature. Should have been faster than Sergios by right, but Sergios obviously did some very good laps while Bantz was in the pits, or just after Bantz pitted, and has managed to jump in.
He shows us why he is championship leader at the moment.
Yep, absolutely. So he's going to get some good points for this race by the looks of it. Sergios now going to be chasing down Hugos, Copy and Speedy. They are all pitting again, I believe, and so is Etney. So I think Sergios is in the running for at least, what, P2?
Oh, and... Oh, never mind.
I think Sergios might be in the running for at least certainly podium, and I think possibly he's going to be challenging Speedy for that P2.
Yeah, and that after, remember, he pretty much died into turn 1 in that back part of the grid.
Yeah.
He flew off track. I don't think he hit a wall, and there's J-Rox is off track for me. Okay, interesting. Vinny looks like he isn't able to hold on to his to the car he's following off Briggy. Looks like the gap is getting bigger and bigger, even though he has got DRS. So I don't think there will be a counter move by him.
Yeah, it looks like struggling with those tires.
Never mind.
Hugos just pitted.
Just glitching through J-Rox for me.
Okay, so yeah, J-Rox is actually up in P6, so he's pretty much directly behind Bantz, and he's been catching Bantz as well, despite being on those older tyres. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. J-Rox does have the DRS, of course. He's getting dragged along down those straights as well. So Bantz has managed to close the gap to Sergio, so he made a mistake there, Bantz. Ran wide in the Mercedes corner, so J-Rox going to be a little bit closer.
Yeah, I can't help you on commentating that battle, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's...
Just in Silverstone I had the same problem. There for me, Michael was bugged out of the time. He always bugged in front of Etney and Sergios.
Oh, as J-Rox pits from P6, so yeah. Oh, and he doesn't get it slowed down. He gets himself a penalty. We saw him struggling there. But it'll be 5 seconds for J-Rox.
How big was the gap between Briggy and J-Rox?
It would have been about 3 seconds, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah, that could be relevant, and Vinny's just behind Briggy as well, obviously, getting dragged along at the moment by the DRS and the slipstream of the Red Bull in front of him. So yeah, I think this race is... I think Etney's going to win, but I think the race is shaking out. It's going to be kind of interesting, because Speedy will have to pit again, and when he does, where's he going to come out? He's going to come out behind Bantz for sure, but on the faster tyres. So I think it's going to be, 16 seconds between him and Bantz right now.
Okay. 16 for... Oh, never mind. Okay.
16, yeah.
Yeah, it's 16. I just had a bit of a problem. So
I think he'll be out as Michael gets himself a penalty. I thought that was who we were watching, but we're actually watching Vinny, who ran wide at the same time. But yeah, I think so. Oh, so Etney pits, and so does Copy.
Wait, so he's still pitting? Oh yeah,
of course. So Etney's come out, and yeah, he's on the soft tyres now, so he's going to be 4.5 seconds behind Speedy. Speedy has to pit again, of course. So Etney's now on the best tyres, and he's 9 seconds ahead of Sergio. So Etney has won this race by a long way if he doesn't do anything silly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hugos comes out behind Vinny, but ahead of... sorry, Copy comes out behind Hugos, but ahead of Ocean Chief. So that might be a scrap in a couple of laps as well. Vinny's going to have to pit quite soon.
Also, Triton has just passed Briggy. but now Briggy will get DRS through the parabolic if the DRS measurement point is where I think it is. It actually is, so now he moves down the inside. In the hairpin, he will probably win the braking duel, except Triton can carry it down the outside. No! Briggy moves to the outside before the turn itself, which makes Triton, which gives Triton the possibility to to go down the inside. But
yep, good driving from the pair of them. So Triton was on the inside, but did manage to leave the space on the outside, and Briggy, if there was a little bit of contact, there wasn't very much contact, and certainly they both got through unscathed. So Briggy up to P10 behind J-Rox. J-Rox chasing Ocean Chief in that Renault. Ocean Chief on the mediums, J-Rox on the softs. Oh yeah, Vinny pits from what was I think P5. So puts on the soft tyres, and we'll go to the end of the race from here.
Yo, I always think Speedy is dead when I see J-Rox's bugged car slow on track.
Nope. I'm seeing J-Rox's unbugged car right now. He's going to pass Ocean Chief, I think, here before they get to the hairpin. So, nice, easy move. Further
down the order, probably, still for P12, Anonymous is catching up to Tipsy Bob, so Anonymous, who is of course taking the seat of Tipsy Bob after he has retired. He's now moving around the outside, but he should have that much of an advantage that there's no counter move by Tipsy Bob, and that's how it went.
Speedy
Anonymous
pits from P1.
P12.
Yep, Speedy pits from the lead. Where's he going to come out? He's going to come out somewhere around, probably behind Bantz, but on the better tyres, of course, and he's changing his nose as well, so he's going to be a little bit further delayed. So out of the pits he comes, and Hugos, Hugos is Sauber, just passing in the distance.
It could become close between, I think he will, he stays ahead of Copy by a reasonable margin of a second.
But he is behind Hugos. He is behind
with
Hugos.
The next penalty, when he should have a lot of penalties collected by now. I feel like his name is coming up a lot now. It's now 3 seconds behind. It's now 3 seconds between Hugos and Speedy.
Yep, and Copy all over the back of Speedy as well. Speedy on those cold tyres, of course. It does take a while to get those tyres up to temperature. Come through the right-hander into the left-hander at Mercedes, turn 8. He clips the inside, gets the drive through turns 9 and 10.
Briggy is now catching up to Ocean Chief. Ocean Chief has had a quiet race, as I've already mentioned once, which was the only other mention of him in this race so far. He's now getting chased down by Briggy, who wants that Is it P7?
It's P8. J-Rox is 2 seconds ahead of Ocean.
Okay, so for that P8, the battle, I think there will be a battle soon, but I don't think Ocean Chief will defend himself too much now they are going through the North Cove. Heading towards that little right-hander into left-hander section before Parabolica.
Oh, and into the back of him goes Briggy. And, I'm not exactly sure what happened there,
Did they actually make contact?
Yeah, they did. He definitely went into the back of him. I don't know if he got any wing damage from that, but I think he's just going to pull past now on the straight. And you can see how much faster Briggy is on the inside there.
With a penalty. And Michael has retired in the meantime. Probably no crash. I would think it was probably because he didn't see much reason to keep on driving in this race, as he was far down the road in P16, the last driver of those who hadn't retired to this moment, but now he's retired as well, which leaves Jesse in the last position on track.
So what do we have coming to the end of this race? We've got Bantz in P3. He's 4.6 at the moment ahead of Hugos in P4, and the issue for Hugos is that he only has 11 laps to close that gap. And what happened there? Speedy has passed Hugos? Something happened to Hugos. He's really struggling as they go through those couple of corners. And in fact, he has to let Copy through as well for P5.
Hey.
So, yeah,
Much
something
love
happened.
back to Pizza Voodoo-Man, by the way. Just read the chat.
Nice.
Hey. Good.
So Copy and Hugo's P5 and P6. I'm not exactly sure what happened to Hugo. So he was chasing down Bance. He's now not chasing down Bance anymore. And Speedy is the man who has to do that. He's on much better tyres, of course, but he's got 6 seconds to make up, and he's only got 10 laps to do it. He's Etnic now on lap 25.
I just wanted to extract why Kirst got disqualified out of the conversation, so I assume he just got another penalty for extending track limits by parking it on the outside to let people pass.
Yep, I think he said that was what happened.
But I think that's what happened, yeah.
So there's a nice little battle.
Pretty much,
yeah.
Hugo's pretty close behind Copy still. So, oh, yeah, he carried away a bit more momentum, I think, and now he will have a look around the outside. No, he doesn't, but now he cuts through to the inside. They are taking alternative line, so Hugos doesn't get blocked as much now down the inside through Parabolica with the DRS open. Yeah, it's a pretty easy pass through that section.
Yep, he got him very easily.
Because you can diminish the gap down the pit straight, and then you can just take the position through Parabolica.
So,
which is exactly what Hugos did.
So Hugo's
now
back up to
2.5 seconds.
Yep, 2.5 seconds to Speedy. We've got a battle for P9 here. Triton, I think, is a little bit faster than Ocean. They're on the same tyres, so and the same age tyres as well. So this is a pretty much a straight fight between these two. But I think Triton might well have the pace on Ocean Chief as he tries to protect those last couple of points. He's P9 right now. Needs to keep it in the top 10 if he wants any points from this race. Gap between Bant and Speedy we're keeping an eye on as well. That's 4 seconds between those two. So that is coming down quite quickly.
Briggy has got himself a 3-second time penalty. Just as he exited turn 1.
Yep.
Yeah, so probably extending.
Ocean
Not sure though, because I didn't see it. Copy is able to stay within the DRS window of Hugos for a bit, but the gap Hugos has made, has driven out of this, is already big enough, so I can assume Copy will be out of the DRS window by the next lap.
Yeah, looks like Hugos is faster as Ocean makes a little bit of a mistake there on the exit of the hairpin, just gets a little bit squirrely under power, but seems to be okay as he goes into Mercedes now. He's managed to get himself out of DRS range of Triton.
Did Triton make a mistake?
I didn't see one. I think Ocean might just be a little bit faster. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Well, Ocean just made a mistake though. The Mercedes now Triton is quite a bit closer.
Oh. The tires are literally exactly the same age.
Yep, they are the same. They pitted on the same lap.
Catching up, so this will probably be the fight for the last playing positions, as J-Rox is presumably out of them. It's for P9, 10 and 11, so the one who comes out worst out of this little battle group won't get any points. So you can say they are definitely racing for something. Now Triton didn't get the best run through turn 1, I would say, and Vinny is lurking behind them with the best tires. He's on softs.
This is going to be quite something as they come into the hairpin here this time. They might be 3 wide as Triton closes right up on Ocean Chief. I guess he's not quite close enough. Yeah, Ocean Chief looks to the middle of the track. Triton to the inside. Tries to outbrake him.
With a lock
contact.
And Ocean Chief hits him, and Vinny just cheekily goes down the inside.
Yeah, a little bit naughty from Triton. He got a little bit, outbraked himself just a little bit and went into Ocean Chief's line by the looks of it. So Ocean Chief is the net loser from all of that. He loses that 9th position. He loses 10th as well to Vinny. And yeah, Vinny, as you said, passed both of them. So it's unfortunate for Ocean.
The best case scenario for Vinny, who will now probably try to bring home this 9th position. Yeah, where's J-Rox on track at the moment?
J-Rox is 7th. Yeah, he's just behind Copy. In fact, that's a little bit of a battle as they go through. J-Rox gets himself another penalty. Ooh, yeah, look in the inside into turn 2 there. as they come through here. You're not going to be able to see this, unfortunately, but down through the Parabolica, J-Rock's right in the slipstream. He's got the DRS. Very, very close indeed. And we're on board with Copy. We're going to see J-Rox come past on the left-hand side. There he is, and nothing Copy can do at all about that. J-Rox runs a little bit wide. Copy almost tags him there, but looks like J-Rox has passed. So J-Rox up to P6.
Yeah,
a
for
decent
me,
recovery drive from him.
Copy was just being there on his own and singing Party by myself.
No, he certainly had company.
Etnik
gets himself a penalty.
With a 3
Wow.
second time penalty, I assume it was his first, and with a 17 seconds gap down to P2 of Sergio's, I don't think it will make a notable difference.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But something that might be an interesting one towards the end of this race is this battle for third between Bantz and Speedy. The gap now, you can see them on the same straight. The gap is 1.8 seconds as they go through turn 1. And,
but I think there might be a penalty on Speedy. I'll have a look in the race director. Yeah, he has got one from lap 10. Has he got another one?
Bantz has one as well. Bantz definitely has one.
That's a warning. That's another warning. That's a 3 seconds penalty.
I think they both have 3. I'm not sure though. It might be that they
might be right. So I don't... Okay, yeah, Speedy has really stopped cutting or extending turn 1. He hasn't got a warning in quite a while. So yeah, they are battling it out on equal grounds.
Yep, Speedy now very close to being in DRS range, and yeah, he's closing at a rate of knots, so I think he's going to be passed fairly soon. This is the battle for the final podium position. I think Bantz is probably okay for P4. There's a 5-second gap back to Hugo's.
Also something that might become a bit interesting in case Speedy versus Bantz is over too fast or something like that. Triton is still behind Vinny. It doesn't look like he is losing him quite that fast, even though, okay, that sector was better for Vinny. So I might have just hyped something that won't happen. Briggy with another 3-second penalty. Okay, Vinny has some penalties for sure.
So here we go on the back straight between Bantz and Speedy. Bantz just looks to the inside. Going to make Speedy go around the outside of the hairpin side by side.
He makes him run fairly wide, but now the acceleration of Speedy should be better. Yeah, he's
covers the inside, looks to the outside. He's going to have the inside for Mercedes, but Bantz manages to cover it off.
Yeah, Bantz is a really good defensive driver, you gotta admit that.
Yep, putting his car in exactly the right place.
Yeah, the pattern is probably just claiming the inside line as soon as you can.
Oh, and J-Rox passes Hugo's for P5, so that's something that we didn't see on track. We'll go back to that in a second, but this is the battle right now for P3.
Yeah.
As Jesse manages to get himself out of the way.
Yeah, through
the final couple of corners.
Quite well. Now Speedy with a good run and better tyres.
I think he got a warning for that. Might be worth it though. Into turn 1. As he just
not able to
the inside. That was beautifully
done.
Bantz covers the inside again. Speedy going around the outside into turn 2. Hugos gets himself a penalty.
Oh, and a lock up by Bantz. Speedy running really wide, but in the end able to carry
I think Bantz is going to get DRS here because the detection zone is just before. And Bantz, I think, is going to be passed before they get to the hairpin. So, nicely done by Bantz. Speedy does have the slipstream, but again, not close enough. And he's much slower in a straight line, obviously, without the DRS.
I think this card is dying at the moment because I can only hear you lagging.
Oh dear, okay. I apologize about that.
You sound something like Robotas.
Hopefully that doesn't continue.
Yeah. I mean, for the recording, it's fine for sure.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah, of course it doesn't.
Bantz manages to keep this position, so I think this is the end of lap 31 for these guys. So there's 3 laps to go.
Exactly. Etni already in lap 32.
These are wide from Speedy.
Lap 31. Yeah, there's basically 3 chances at Parabolica to pass Bantz. Now maybe Bantz will go a bit slowly through that corner before Parabolica through turns 2 to 4.
Oh, Speedy to the inside.
Claim the DRS for Parabolica, or he already gets past here with the open wing through
Well,
that turn.
I mean, Bance
Now
is just going to be past him again down the straight,
Yeah,
though,
exactly.
because he's going to have DRS, so I'm not exactly sure what Speedy was thinking there. Bance very happy for him to go through, because now he's got the drag race, and this is a
down the
very
inside,
unhelpful camera angle.
but Speedy doesn't lose that. So, whoa! So Speedy
Feinted
just
to the inside, and then
down the inside, and now he
wow.
gets hit wide after he switched after he switched back to the outside again. So Speedy just rethought where he was going to go into turn 5 or turn 6, probably. Yeah, turn 6 multiple times. I was a bit confused in my camera angle. It looked like he was just thinking, okay, if I can't pass you on track, you'll have to go into the wall. But in the end, everything was clean there.
He was feinting to the inside. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was never really now he's getting a really good run out of Sachs curve, but that's no spot where you can really overtake. But you can just see how. Oh my God!
So we're going to see the same thing again.
Okay, for me,
get something there. Nothing too
just ran into the back of J-Rocks.
Oh no, yeah, no, that's that's not what happened. So side by side again. So yeah, Speedy backs off this time. He's learned his lesson.
But to be honest, this is the penultimate lap. So if Bance is able to stay within DRS range, then he might have got it in the final lap. So the numbers
all the way to the inside and Speedy to the outside. Is he gonna have the overlap before they get to the braking zone?
Oh, they are still side by side. Bance hasn't even lost it yet, but now he surrenders his position. Now the task will be to stay as close as possible. I wonder if he sends it down the inside in Mercedes, and Speedy almost spins, but he gets collected by the rear of Bance, which makes his car straight again. So he doesn't spin out completely, but that made him have a big gap to Bance. So. He might even not be able to claim the position through parabolic again, now even getting his tire on the grass a bit. So the rear slipping away of him.
I think he's probably alright. I think he's close enough.
Yeah,
and he'll get the DRS here. He'll get the DRS up to turn 2 as well. So I think he's probably going to be alright. We'll see, and he runs a bit wide there.
Will he make another pass? Bance really slow there. He's forcing Speedy to go past to play by Bance's rules, but Bance now on the inside, and he won't be able to slow down enough to get DRS himself. So now he's going to be a sitting duck. It will be this parabolic corner or the hairpin or Mercedes-Benz if he can get a counter move done there. But at first, Speedy gets the position. Bance hangs it down the inside. He still has got a bit of his nose alongside the rear tires, and now he goes down the inside. No dive possible through Mercedes-Benz. And I think by positioning his car the way he did, Speedy has just secured himself a good third position onto the podium. But there's still Sachs curve and the Süd curve, so maybe Bance will do some naughty move. No, he doesn't. The clean racer in him prevents him from doing stupid bullshit, and in the end, after having started down in P15, that was, he's running out of fuel.
Bance is out of fuel and loses P4 as well to J-Rocks, but then gets it back on the penalty. The penalty.
Yeah, okay. I didn't even see that because J-Rocks, of course, not visible on my screen, and we haven't even mentioned Etney getting his next victory, so he cuts off 7 points of that championship lead Sergio's had to this point. I think it was 30 points, and now it should only be 23 points. Sergio's also with a really great recovery drive as well as Bance. So both Spaniards getting themselves up from row 8 to a top 4 finish.
So yeah, the championship now looks like this. Sergios is on 194, Speedy second on 159, and Etney is third on 147. So a big gap at the front, 35 points between the two of them, but then Etney is chasing them both. But there we go. So that was quite a finish. J-Rocks, I think, had a lot of penalties. Yeah, 23 seconds worth of penalties for J-Rocks, all the way down in 9th position. He finishes. So 4th on the road, but actually not 4th because of all of those penalties. A remarkably good job, I have to say, of people keeping it clean.
Anonymous has got no penalty, so he claims himself P10.
Wow.
Is there anything notable? No. Yeah, the top 5 all with 3 seconds, and then down to P8, they've got 6 seconds, and J-Box, of course, with 23 seconds behind them, outside of the top 10, where it doesn't matter that much anymore. The penalties are a bit more irregular, and in general more than the top 10. But as said, it doesn't matter there. So I think we just had a pretty exciting, decently exciting race, and the fact that we can call this a decent race tells a lot about how great the past races of SRL have been, especially Silverstone, which I couldn't record.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we've had some good races, and this was a good race as well. Battles up and down the field. The battle at the front wasn't very. I mean, Andy was always going to win the race from pole position.
Exactly.
It was a dominant performance. He's had a few dominant performances.
It's pretty much that sign pole in the pit lane already ending Sergio's campaign for the victory early. And I think Bance has just cheekily joined our channel.
Stream snipe.
Hi, Bance.
I'll come back in a bit. I'll come back in a
Great
bit.
talk, by the way.
Thank you. I'll come back in a moment.
All right. So I think that's I mean I think that does it for the broadcast. That's it's been a really fun race. We'll of course be back tomorrow afternoon. Well, we won't be back tomorrow afternoon.
No,
we'll be driving instead. But we'll have other commentators. I think Login is going to do it tomorrow for the 2 SRL race, and that will be here at Hockenheimring as well. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for being in chat, Pizza Voodoo Man, Willem, and obviously all of our drivers, including Milos Martika, who has had another trying race today. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for participating. And we'll see you next time.
Yes. Yeah, see you next time. Goodbye.